You stand tallest among all the talls, though you are the youngest of them all. You shared the grief and felt the pain. Your empathy would never go in vain.
We can and we will surround you with aroha, manaakitanga, and all that makes us us. Our hearts are heavy, but our spirit is strong.
Your compassion has said it all. Nothing done in sympathy is small.
And certainly when I visited with families, when I've seen that husbands, wives, in hospital and the grief that's surrounding that and the fear, I feel that deeply. But I've always been a person inclined to feel things quite deeply.
Your leadership has set the bar high. All the world leaders give kindness a try.
I spoke with Donald Trump this morning. He sought to call us directly. He very much wished for his condolences to be passed on to New Zealand. He asked what offer of support the United States could provide. My message was sympathy and love for all Muslim communities.
To the 50 souls, we bid the final goodbye. Together we mourn, together we cry.
They were New Zealanders. They are us. And because they are us, we as a nation, we mourn them. We feel a huge duty of care to them.
You did not hold back to say the truth. Your words made grieving hearts soothe.
One is very obvious, and that is the availability of military-style semi-automatic weapons in New Zealand. And yes, we have gun use for legitimate purposes, particularly in our rural community, but my view is that they will absolutely support us in tackling the availability of weapons that are very obviously designed to take lives.
You did what was the need of the hour. You showed the world a nation's power.
I can tell you one thing right now. Our gun laws will change. There have been attempts to change our laws in 2005, 2012, and after an inquiry in 2017. Now is the time for change.
In testing time, your governance stood true. The nation profoundly looked up to you.
He will face the full force of the law in New Zealand. The families of the fallen will have justice.
You refused to give attacker his name. He will dwell forever in shame.
He sought many things from his act of terror, but one was notoriety. And that is why you will never hear me mention his name. He is a terrorist. He is a criminal. He is an extremist. But he will, when I speak, be nameless.
For this hatred, who is to be blamed? With vicious brutality, 50 lives it claimed.
Mr. Speaker, the 15th of March will now be forever a day etched in our collective memories. On a quiet Friday afternoon, a man stormed into a place of peaceful worship and took away the lives of 50 people.
You vowed to honor the departed souls, to dignify and honor them the most.
And to others I implore you, speak the names of those who were lost, rather than the name of the man who took them.
With your salam, you reached out to everyone. Leaders like you are the shelter from scorching sun.
Mr. Speaker, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you and peace be upon all of us.
By wearing hijab, you showed solidarity. Your message of harmony spoke volumes of sincerity.
What I underestimated was that it gave people a sense of security. It didn't occur to me for a moment that there would be those women in the community who felt unsafe wearing so obviously their faith. And so if in wearing the hijab as I did, gave them a sense of security to continue to practice their faith, then I'm very pleased I did it.
Nation of 200 ethnicities showed truest equality. Your people restored our faith in humanity.
I feel like what the world is seeing is just who we are. You know, we're a nation of over 200 ethnicities, 160 languages. We see ourselves as peaceful and inclusive. The act has been so counter to that. But the response, you know, the flood of flowers outside of mosques, the spontaneous song where people have gathered, the real desire to give a sense of safety and security for people to return to worship, that's New Zealand.
From New Zealand, what is to be learned? How to nurture the soul's hatred burned.
And over the last 2 weeks, we have shown that. You have shown that in your actions. From the thousands at vigils to the 95-year-old man who took 4 buses to attend a rally because he couldn't sleep from the sadness of seeing the hurt and suffering of others.
How to sustain the grief shared? How is respect earned and gained?
My job is to continue to rebuild their faith in that safety, and that's a job for all New Zealanders, to provide that sense of security, and that includes confronting any racism wherever it may exist.
In this land, terrorism has no place. You have given broken hearts solace.
Racism exists, but it is not welcome here. An assault on the freedom of any one of us who practices their faith or religion is not welcome here. Violence and extremism in all its forms is not welcome here.
You got it right when world doubted its sanity. Yes, the answer to hate lies in our humanity.
We cannot confront these issues alone. None of us can. But the answer to them lies in a simple concept that is not bound by domestic borders, that isn't based on ethnicity, power base, or even forms of governance. The answer lies in our humanity.
Extremism needs to be put to an end for sure. We all need to join hands to find the cure.
Safety means being free from the fear of violence, but it also means being free from the fear of those sentiments of racism and hate that create a place where violence can flourish. And every single one of us has the power to change that.